Wait a damn minute. Wait a damn minute.
And I really wanted to clarify something super important about this. So when I say diets and refer to the studies that have been done, the studies weren't talking about name brand diets specifically, like paleo, keto, Weight Watchers, and whatnot. Instead, they were referring to the overall approach taken with eating and food choices. So essentially, when it comes to food, what you eat, when you eat, how much you eat, you're actively controlling it. That's what these studies looked at. Diet is guided by external rules or shoulds rather than your own body signals and cues. It's like thinking of food in terms of how much shouldn't I have? How much is bad? How much should I cut? How much should I avoid? How much not to have? And all of that, and the reason that diets don't work is the meat of what those studies were looking at: restriction, physical and or mental. And that's the real root problem right there. Restriction goes against our biology, how we're wired at the most primitive level in our brains. And that's why long-term study after long-term study shows that sure, you might lose some weight at first, but it's likely not going to stick for you because the body is wired to fight back. It can't tell the difference between a self-imposed feelings of deprivation and an actual famine. So when your body thinks that there's a food shortage, whether it's, self-imposed or not, it panics and uses its survival mechanisms to fight back and keep you alive. And it does that by conserving energy, like slowing down your metabolism, trying to get you to eat, like having you fixate on food, experience intense cravings, and it wires you to binge. And ultimately, the body doesn't like being ignored or micromanaged or controlled when it comes to food, especially major nutrient groups that your body needs, like carbohydrates, for example. It will fight back and it will win. So just keep that in mind. In general, when you're thinking about what to do with food, and when you hear me say the word diet in the future, it's way shorter and quicker for me just to say diet than this whole big long explanation as well. So if you are currently coming from that place, if you're coming from that land of, okay, I'm thinking about food, what should I have? How much should I have? What's okay? What's bad? What should I cut? How can I control what's going on right now to feel my best? Know that that is likely driving you in the opposite direction of where you want to go long term. And if you do want something that is more of an approach that works with your body rather than one that fights against it, I would love to talk with you about this. I'd love to set up a free mini session just so you can see what it's all about and see what the heck I'm even talking about here. If you're interested in booking, shoot me a PM and we'll get that on the calendar.